The views and opinions expressed by guests and or comments are those of the persons who submitted them and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of In the Clutch Sports Talk and More podcast. Any content provided by guests are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company of any individual or anyone or anything. Or anything.
Anything.
Anything. Woo! Had to take a week off. Still not feeling 100%, but I'm feeling a little better. Tara ain't feeling as good.
Yeah, y'all take it easy on me today.
Oh no, they're not gonna take it easy on you.
Take it easy on me today.
That's not gonna happen.
Hey, I'm just asking you. Give me 24 hours. Give me 24 hours. Just let's get along today. Let's get along today, and we can start back next Tuesday. Well, where we left off.
They say we missed a week already, so
right.
They ain't showing no mercy.
They owe you from last week, old and new.
What you mean they owe me?
They missed you.
No, they didn't. Oh, it was Daryl. Daryl the one made the ultimate call. I was gonna suck it up. See, but that's like football players, man. Daryl sit up there and say he couldn't do it, man. But if you top athletes, you stick it out for your team. I called Daryl this morning. I called Daryl. Them folks told me at work, go home, work from home the rest of the week. I said, Daryl, y'all gonna have to hold me up, but I couldn't let you down. I said, I'm gonna be there. I said, I'll be there. I said, I ain't feeling good, but but that's my point. I'm just saying, I'm here. I'm here.
Well, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. Last week, up until probably 10 minutes before the show, I had sent out the thing saying, hey, we'll be on, and about 10 minutes, I was like, man, I ain't finna make it up them stairs. I said, I ain't even finna, I thought I could push through, but I couldn't.
Yeah, well, everybody out there, I said, take this stuff serious. It's bad out here.
Yeah, it is bad. Before we get started with our real talk show, I want to congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles on winning the Super Bowl. They dominated the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I don't like them because they don't beat my team a couple times in the Super Bowl. So yeah, congratulations to them. And I know 4 Philadelphia Eagle fans. So I want to congratulate the Eagles and their fans, Bonita Henley, Big Mike, Courtney Jackson Douglas, and one of my employees, Chris Trejo. Y'all congratulations on y'all win and all that good stuff. So,
Shirley Murphy. She a big Eagles fan out there in Jacksonville, Florida.
I sure forgot all about her. She sure is. Man, what they say, don't charge it to my heart.
No, don't charge it to my heart. I don't know.
Whichever one it is. Don't just my bad. I was trying to think of everybody I knew was a Philly fan. Look, air ain't feeling good. We normally wait a little while before we kick the show off, but we want to go on here and get things started. So we're gonna run the intro and then we're gonna go ahead and get the show started because Tara ain't looking too chipper right now. You are tuned in to Real Talk, where if it ain't real, we don't talk about it. The topics are never ending, so if you're ready for some real talk, you're in the right place. Can't wait to hear what the crew got to say this week. Welcome to Real Talk. I am your host, D. Early. I am joined by the lovely, vivacious, Shonuff Sharita.
Hello.
And the always controversial, but always keep it real, we call him T. Will.
That's me.
So
happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
You don't sound too bad. I mean, you might be able to.
I'm sucking it up for the team, man. When I tell you I feel horrible, but I can't get over here and be all sour and coughing and stuff. So I'm trying to take it up for the team. So let's do it. I'm ready to do it.
Don't feel bad if you got to put the blanket on, man. I know you took it off for the show.
Yeah, I did it for the show. Yeah, I said I don't want to. First thing you do after we get through with the we do the post game show, man. You had the blanket on, man, and you look country, man, and all that. So I said, let me take the blanket off and put it down on my way. So
hey, we understand. We definitely understand. Cousin Pat from St. Louis checking in. Hello, family and friends.
Hey, Patricia. Hey, Victor.
What's up, my favorite friend? What's going on?
She up there taking care of mom. Mom had a little minor surgery. Well, I ain't gonna call it a minor surgery. She had a little surgery today, but she back at home giving orders, so she okay now. Happy Tuesday, Latanya.
Hey, Latanya.
What's up, Victor? Tighten up, tighten up. Okay, the topic for today. Man, I hate this one. When do you allow your kids to become grown? So that could mean a lot. That could mean a lot.
Joe, I know Joe gonna chime in on this one.
Yeah, Joe the one that gave us the topic, so I know he got plenty to say. I'm gonna say this, and I usually let y'all go first, but I'm gonna try to hold it down for you a little bit here. Man, it ain't no book out there on how to be a parent. I thought it ended at 18. It don't. I got a 37-year-old. I got a 36, 35. I got a 27. I forgot the other one's age, 25 and 22 or something. One of them birthday coming up. It is, you can't set a time limit on it. I'm gonna just say that. We can do our best, but hey, I don't know. Sometimes times are just different for one thing. That makes it hard. And then when you try to invoke the old school, you can't do that no more. So you run into issues, but I really want to hear what's up, Ronnie? Yeah, we a little better over here, man. Ebony, how you doing tonight? Glad you joined in. Hey, if we got any new first time viewers, chime in for us. Let us know you in the house.
Put a 1 in there. If you put a 1 in the chat.
Sarita, how you feel on this subject?
Man, look, it's like you said, it's never ending. Okay. And like you said also, the worst part is there ain't no manual. There is no book. There is no really right or wrong way to parent adult children. I just, because
but at some point we do have to let them. I mean, when I say let them be grown, I'm saying, I ain't necessarily saying they got to go, they got to get out the house or whatever. Right. But at some point, you do have to kind of push the bird out the nest and let them fly.
True. But I think with us, our generation, because of what we kind of went through with our parents, we tend to hold on much longer than our parents did.
Well, explain it.
Like I think, I know this isn't true for all of our parents, but a lot of our parents say, parents that are in their 60s and 70s, they were with that, like, you 18, you grown, not necessarily you got to get out type, but you 18, you grown, you got to make your way, you got to find your way. And they kind of stuck to that. They made you get out there and navigate, and some were there to pick up the pieces, some were not. I think for us, well, let me speak for myself. I try to navigate those corners that I know they're gonna come up on, and try to like navigate them to, like, okay, I don't even want you to see what's around that corner. I'm gonna try to help you out. I'm gonna try to, teach you and guide you so that you ain't even gotta go around that corner. But they don't listen. They don't listen.
But I told the story. I told you what my daughter said. Daddy, we just got to learn on our own.
Mm-hmm.
We know you know.
Right.
I'm like, so you know that I'm right, but you still not gonna listen? To make that make sense.
Doesn't.
And I ain't gonna lie, I've been trying. It's hard. It's hard to, my dad, when I was 17, when we had the conversation. I wasn't even 18 yet. My dad was like, you graduated. Don't look like you going to college. Your birthday coming up, you'll be 18. I'm just letting you know, you got to get up out of here, son. I mean, he didn't say it in no mean way or nothing like that. He just told me, it can't be two men staying in my house. So I don't know if that lit a fire under me and made me go ahead and make a decision to do what I did, which I eventually ended up going to the military. But the point for me is, I think that made me a better person.
Right.
I mean, even when he told me, I didn't look at it like, damn, Dad, you so mean. You ain't right. Why you doing me like that? I looked at it like, damn, he's so right. I got to get up out of here.
Right.
They don't look at it that way these days.
Right. But I'm gonna tell you, well, I don't know. Maybe your parent did, but a lot of parents don't prepare them to go on out there and make it. You know what I'm saying? It's I knew coming up, I knew people that didn't even know how to get, let alone pay an MLGW bill. So, how you gonna tell me get out and you ain't even prepared me? I don't know how to write a check. I don't know how to pay fill out an application. I don't know how to do a lease, So
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't. My dad was, man. We was in that money order generation. It was go get money orders and pay everything. He didn't have no checking, no credit cards. He felt like if you can't afford to pay for it cash, you don't even need it.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's not realistic in the world that we live in now. But
right.
And with me, I kind of felt the same way about my boys. I always like, yeah, when they get to 18, they graduate, yeah, they're gonna have to be men and do this. And then I wasn't thinking, a few years behind that, you got them girls coming.
Right behind.
Ain't no way I could have put them girls out like that. I couldn't do them girls like that.
Well, for my generation, it was the girls that had to get it how you got it. The boys got coddled and were able to stay at home forever or come back and forth. Yes, ask any Black woman my age who had brothers, younger or older.
Well, I gotta ask the question: was it a man in the household?
Yes.
Was the mama, and they let the boys stay?
Men were I ain't gonna say
they wasn't
happy about it. And they wasn't happy about it, but they was there. Ask them.
Well, Joe, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't pay for her first month rent, why is she still there? That's
she been pimping that man for man. She been pimping that man for years. I don't know why he even going that way. She been begging for money from us since she was 5. So
I ain't not begging. We just,
she did used to beg.
We was
beg all the time. Beg all the time. Uncle Terry when she wants some money. But when I get on her daddy's ass, then I ain't uncle no more. So all them summers.
Don't talk about all of them now.
You're right, majority of them. I'm sick.
I want to address a comment. Miss Stephanie, put Miss Stephanie Jones Burrell, put her comment up. Okay, so her comment, for those who probably can't see it. Well, I started preparing mine at 5 years old. They knew that at 18, they had to go to college or live somewhere else. We provided for all 3 during college. Every adult needs their own address. Now,
I agree.
I wholeheartedly agree, but there is a but. My
Okay.
but is at what point when did your child turn 18 and it was, you got to get up out of here and you got to get your own address, because as we know, it ain't easy. Like, you can't get no $385 a month apartment these days, and the jobs ain't paying that much. So is it good for us to send our children out to struggle?
Well, you know what? I look at her comment in a different way.
No, I'm just saying that's what she was doing. I'm just asking that.
Oh, okay. Because what I was,
I agree with her.
Because what I'm saying is, she broke it down in ABC order and had it well planned out. I mean, starting at the age of 5, so they got that put into their mindset at a very, very, very young age. So I'm thinking, and I'm sure you can tell us if we're wrong, Stephanie. I bet they're all doing pretty good.
Well,
at this point in time,
I wasn't saying that.
No, I said you wasn't. Well, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. That's what I was looking at. I didn't say you meant it like that, but I'm just saying I was just looking at her that if you give me that much time, because a lot of folks wait to the 14, 15. Hey, you got to get out of my house in 2-3 years. And looking at her comments, she started off like, hey, she started preparing hers at 5. So, that's pretty early in life. So I mean,
it ain't never too early.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because I know her. I know her husband. Here's the thing that helped them. And I hope we got enough time to get into this. That's a 2-parent household right there. That's a mother and a father being there. And you see what she said? She ain't say when they turn 18, we just let them. She said we provided for all 3 during college. Now I'm sure after college, I don't took care of you all through high school. I don't took care of you all through college. Now I'm finna set you up to do better. That's great that this generation, her and her husband, were able to do that. That's great.
So are you saying a single parent couldn't do that?
No. See, don't.
No, I'm asking a question.
No, I'm not
because
saying,
you made a point to say that's a 2-parent household.
No, I'm saying that it's easier when you got 2 parents. But I'm not saying a single mother or a single father couldn't do it. I'm saying it's easier when you got 2 parents in the household to balance things out. So you got your breadwinners, you got the person who holding down the household, you got the person that's making sure the kids got what they need. It's when you the one person that got to do all of that. I ain't saying you can't do it, but it's damn so harder than when you got that other person in your corner. So hand clap for them. And I can tell you, Terry, yeah, they're all 3 doing great.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But that's like you said, it's kudos to them for that, and like growing up, and my kids, they were over here. All 3 of them was over here for the Super Bowl, and that conversation sort of came up about what the topic of the show and all that type of stuff, and I said, okay, guys, I said, if something happened to you, you go to jail. What is it? Let's say it together. Don't call dad. That's that. I made them say it in unison, and what I mean by that is that if you're not doing nothing to defend yourself, if you're defending yourself, or you defending someone else, or doing something minor like that, if you're doing anything other than that, don't call me to help you get out of jail. Don't call me. And it's tough love. That's the way my dad raised me. He told us growing up. He said, I always put some on your books. I'll always sit up there, take your phone calls. I'll always do this and I'll always do that. He said, but I don't tolerate foolishness. I don't tolerate thieves. I don't tolerate people hitting on other folks or doing something if you ain't self-defense. My dad was just no nonsense. He was the back then form of James Evans. I mean, he was James Evans probably before James Evans of Good Times. He was one of those type of disciplinarians where you could, a lot of times we got our share of whoopings and stuff, but he was one of them kind that he can give you a look and you knew what to do. So that resonated with me and my brothers growing up. So, you know, it's sort of tough love. We have more so tough love on our kids than some other parents may.
Yeah, all I'm gonna add on to it is, you know, growing up, I think my dad did the best he could do. I think maybe not. I ain't gonna say we had the financial luxuries of some of the other people that I went to school with or things like that, but we had enough. My mom and my dad, you know, they weren't together. So I grew up mainly in a single father household. And the part of not having a mother in the household, I'm gonna be honest. When I was little, it didn't even affect me because I was used to just, you know, it was me, my dad, and my brother. And you know, once your mom, you know, once you get into that, okay, I'm spending time with my mom on the weekend and with my dad during the week, you know, then I can see some of the dynamics of, oh dang, it's different with mom than it is with dad. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff I can get over with on mom, dad ain't going. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. Dad will be like, you know, but
well, it's kudos to it. I give kudos to all the women out there, number one, because my kids have outstanding mothers. I mean, that's one thing I can say about them. And they grew up in their household and they took care of them and they did the yeoman's work with raising those kids. And they did an awesome job. So I'm never going to take that from them. I just one of those people where I just believe in you know, in a little bit more tougher love, so to speak, sort of like just the way we were raised, that, you know, you teach them young and you teach them early, sort of like, you know, a little kid touching the stove, you know, at a young age and it burns him. Guess what? That baby gonna find is the best way to stay away from that stove going forward. And you know, and that's like a little analogy of what I'm talking about. But you know, I love them to death, but they know I just don't accept. I don't, you know, especially the way these generation of these kids doing. Don't go along to get along. Don't try to be a crowd. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. You know, go out there. You was raised. You got two educated parents that weren't in trouble and didn't went out here and struggled and worked hard to get what they got out of life. You know, I think that's the least that you owe your parents, to see that if we give you everything that you've needed, you know, you may not have got everything you wanted, but you know, you got everything you needed and made up the ladder. I mean, that's all I ask. I don't ever want anything in return but for you to be a productive citizen. That's my main thing.
Since you kind of hit on the video I was gonna play, I'm gonna go ahead and play the video. Then we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. Then we'll come back and see if we can get some phone calls in. But to your point, here you go.
Don't do that, sweetheart. It's dangerous.
No, wait. Well, go on. Yeah. Bet you're not going to do that again, though, are you?
Oh, man, I thought that was so funny. Now, here we go. The mom is like, no, don't do that, sweetie. Don't do that. The dad sitting back like, okay, it ain't finna kill him. It's just gonna make him. Is either one right or wrong in that scenario?
No,
Neither
they're
one.
both. No, I think they were both, like you all was saying about, being in a two parent household for balance. Yes, mom of course is the one that is going to love on, pad up, tell you, it was okay when it wasn't. And dad's role is to be the disciplinarian and let you go around that corner and find out what's around that corner. So I don't think either of them were wrong.
I want Nancy to elaborate on this when we come back from break. I think people confuse being a parent and actually parenting. Now, this coming from a teacher, so I know she got some insight on it. So we're gonna get back to her, but I want to go to a quick. I hope Tanya is
I haven't seen her yet.
Tanya ain't in the house.
Not yet, but she been coming all day, so maybe she caught up doing something.
Well, here we go, Tanya Covenant.
When it comes to buying or selling real estate, the right agent can make all the difference. Choosing the right partner means less stress, smarter decisions, and a better outcome. Here are 5 reasons why Tanya is a professional you can trust to guide you through your real estate journey. Local expertise you can count on. Personalized approach, proven track record of success, cutting-edge marketing strategies, and dedicated support every step of the way. Real estate transactions can be complex, but she is here to guide you through every detail, from the first consultation to the closing table. Tanya can provide clear communication, expert advice, and unwavering support to ensure your success. Ready to take the next step? Let's make that real estate goal a reality. Call her today at 901-870-5337 to schedule a consultation.
Tanya Covenant, that's the home girl.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my girl. If you want to get your nice little home and or trying to prepare to get a home, Tanya will work with you from the beginning all the way to the end. She's licensed in the state of Mississippi and the state of Tennessee, and her number is scrolling across the bottom. And just tell her In the Clutch sent you. I was going to say Real Talk, but I forgot that's a breakdown of In the Clutch. So I ain't got all my mental capabilities today. That's why I said when you hit me sort of stuttering or trying to get my thoughts together, I'm trying to do the best I can. But yeah, reach out to Tanya.
Is Nancy still on? Nancy, I just want you to elaborate on that a little bit. I said I was going to open up the phone lines. Let me open up the phone lines.
Well, Nancy can come behind me and... Oh, there she is. Go ahead, Nancy. Because I kind of think I know what you was talking about. Because it's a lot of people, parents, people who have children who actually really think that they're parenting, but they really merely are babysitters.
But you know what? It's a catch-22 to that. I promise you.
Because they're only doing the best they know with what they have.
The number scrolling across the screen right now, Nancy.
214-5848. 901-214-5848.
It took me all the way up to my mid-40s to not. I used to be depressed sometimes because the things that they just say fell down in certain areas in growing up. I always blame myself. What could I have done better? What could I have done better? It took me. I had to let all that go. I know it had to be after went to church or something, and whatever it was. You know how sometimes when you go to church and you're going through something and the pastor talks about exactly what you're going through.
Yeah.
And I say, well, you know, that was just meant. And sometimes you just have to trust your decisions of what what you've actually done, and let it go and leave it to God and let him sort of guide your steps. Like I used to always, I don't care what went wrong. I'm like, it was you. If you would have did this, if you would have did that, if you would have did this, I always used to blame myself. But you can get caught up in that real easy. At least I know I could.
Gibson.
We got Nancy on the line.
Nancy, you there?
I am.
I want you to elaborate on the statement that you made. Parents are just being
I'm here.
parents and not parenting. What do you exactly mean by that? I just want to make sure I got a clear understanding.
So what I've learned in teaching over 30-something years is that there are a lot of people who actually just have children. Like they have the title as a parent, but they don't actually parent their children. Like they're not raising their children. They're not really interested in being a parent. I can have kids. There's a lot of people that actually have children, but they are not parenting their children. So let me give you an example. I asked a question just the other day. We gave out our progress reports. And so I just want to know, like, how many people, and I asked the kids, I just took a quick poll, showed their parents their progress report. Out of 30 kids in my class, 5 kids raised their hand. Okay? So I said, okay, let me ask this question. How many parents actually asked you to see your progress report? It was the same 5 kids who raised their hand out of 30. A lot of times a lot of kids are parenting themselves and parenting their siblings, or raising, let me say that, or being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to think about, like, there are people who actually have kids. They are parents by definition, but they aren't parenting their children. Anytime a child can say, oh, sure, go ahead, call my mom. She's gonna do nothing.
Oh,
So
wow.
we got to think about, like, and it goes back to what you guys said, like, we have a lot of people who do not know what it means to parent or what it looks like to parent. Or it's the other way around, because I had bad parenting, I'm going to do, my parenting skills are going to look different. Or it's just that I'm just going to model out what I know. So a lot of times these parents are trying to be more like their friend. Like they treat their children as if they are their best friends. And so they don't want to parent their children. Anytime I send a text message, say, look, your child is failing. Your child is asleep. Oh, well, that's because, I guess she was sitting up all night. What? So they're not parenting. And we really have to, as a people, think about how can we invest in just teaching parenting skills, because they do not know how to parent. Like they literally allow the children. I want you guys, I think about what Terry just said. I was like, yep, we grew up sort of the same way about the discipline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you think about these kids, like these kids are not afraid of their parents. Like just imagine if a teacher even thought about calling the school, what would you do? You would be scared, like, oh, please don't call my house. But they don't mind, and they don't even want to provide the school with the correct telephone number.
True.
So we literally have to go on social media and go through Messenger to contact a parent of a child who's having an asthma attack.
Well, I'm gonna ask you
So
this.
it's like these.
Let me ask
Some
you
of
this.
these parents don't want to parent.
Let me ask you this right quick, because I said this years ago. I think part of the problem started being that as more parents started being younger and younger, it kind of chipped away at being able to parent properly, because you got to think when we were growing up, we had the parents, we had the grandparents, we always looked at our grandparents as older, wiser, you know, let you get away with a little something, but still was put that discipline on you, but still would give you that wisdom. The parent was the one that was, you know, hard on you and made sure you did everything. So if you starting off and granddad at 32, because baby 16, granddad 32, they had a baby when they were 16 or 17. So now the grandparents are younger. Do you think that contributed to any of this?
I do. Because what's funny is that they telling me you the same age as my great grandmother. I'm like,
great grandmother.
54. What we doing? You know. So I do believe right, exactly. So you got to think about that. Like I agree with you 100%, and that's why I say that there's a difference from being a parent and parenting, and we're just not getting that. And you're absolutely right. They are, because of course they're younger, but they do not want to parent, and I can tell you, parent-teacher conferences are coming up Thursday. I sent home a massive amount of forms, just, you know, to the ones who we really, really need to see, who are possibly failing. How many? I sent 40 out. How many do you think I received back?
Probably them same 5.
No, 1.
1? Wow.
So how can, I mean, I know you said we need to have some type of parenting class, but I mean, how could we do that to get the parents to, I mean, you see some stuff I just look at like, man, I mean, we shouldn't even be having this conversation, but you know.
But you do.
But she hit the nail on the head, because like I said, I can remember a time where Mr. Fry paddled me. I think we was lollygagging in between classes. He paddled me, called my mother. My dad worked the 11 to 7 graveyard shift his whole life, so he was getting sleep during the daytime. So I got a whooping by Mr. Fry, and he's going to preach to you while he whips you. So here, the ones that know, he's going to preach to you when he hitting you with the paddle. Had to go home, called my mom, got a whipping by my mom. My dad went to work. When he got off of work, that morning before it was time for me to sit up there and go to school, he woke me up with the whipping. So I got 3. I got 3 for 1. And see, stuff like that made me, hey, I may look stupid, but I assure you I'm not, because that never happened again. That was the only time Mr. Fry ever got me doing that, because I knew what I was going to get at the house.
But it don't work that way these days, because I remember going, you know, to pick my son up from school for a dental appointment. We in the office, and the lady was arguing with the principal about, I dare you put your hands on my child. And the principal was like, well, man, we had to detain him. He had a knife, and he was in a fight and had a knife. She said, I don't care what he had. Don't put your hands on my son.
No, I get it. That's what I'm going back to our days.
Right.
Here, people on the panel, I'm like, if it was more of that back then, and including what you were saying about not having kids at such an early age and all that type of stuff, all that ties in. But I'm just saying, I used to have the fear of God instilled in me back then, because I knew what I was waiting for. When I tell you my dad was like James Evans, he was like James Evans, man. This guy used to scare me.
It goes back to parenting. He was parenting.
Oh yeah, he was. He was being a parent.
Let me ask you this, Terry. You think I ever got a paddling in school?
No, man. You always. I know you took the eggs and you plucked it. I mean, what you do to make the eggs come out? What you have to do to the? You did all that. You made straight A's. You. I'm sure you did the chickens and fed them out there in the coop. And I'm sure you never probably got a whoop.
I got one paddling in school, and I was in the 6th grade. Anybody went to Berkeley know Mr. Hughes? I'm gonna tell you what I got a paddling for. I ain't gonna call no names, but I'm gonna say a young lady that I liked, somebody was picking on her and he pushed her and I defended her honor. And me and the guy got into a fight. When we got to it was on the bus. When we got to school, straight A's didn't mean nothing. Honor roll, none of that meant nothing. Mr. Hughes said, Daryl, I appreciate what you did. You did the honorable thing, but you still got into a fight. And according to my rules, if you get into a fight, I still got to give you a paddling. So bend over, sir. I thought he was going to go light on me. No, sir. Lit me up, Terry. Lit me up. And he said, if you ever in that situation again, I hope you do the right thing.
Okay, now I don't understand. I don't understand that though. I mean, I get that was his rule, but what does he mean? So what does he expect you to do to the second?
Rules,
I mean, if it happened again,
the rules are the rules.
So if you hit the girl again, you was just not supposed to do nothing.
No. He would expect me to defend her honor again
and get another whooping.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Oh, okay, all righty, okay. Well,
sometimes you got to fall on the sword.
Okay,
but that was the point. That was the point that I was going to go back to and make about how different people, and it ain't even just generations. It can just be next door. How people learn discipline. Like it's some people that learn it off TV. People learn it like Terry from your daddy, like you, Daryl, from your parents, and for me it was from my aunt, So, and I think we kind of, and I'm in no way giving an excuse for anybody, but we used to do this icebreaker, and it was like, what's in your DNA? Weren't physically talking about like your real DNA, but like, what did you grow up knowing, learning, seeing? Like Daryl didn't experience what I experienced coming up. Terry didn't experience what I experienced coming up. So I can't blame Terry. I can't say Terry is wrong or right about how he disciplines his child. If he chooses to whip his child, and if he chooses to put his child out at 18, I can't say that Terry is wrong. Now, it could be wrong, it could be wrong to me because that's not what I experienced. And I think that's the big divide, because we all expect us out of other people. I expect for you to understand and know that if I was raised this way and I got looked at and I straightened up, I expected you should have did that too. But you didn't even experience that. So why I'm wrong to expect for you to know that. It's not common sense to you because you didn't experience it. So to the point of that Nancy, because I know I saw Keystone here too, and I know she can attest to it because she's in the school system as well. Y'all got to deal with 30 different personalities, 30 parents who were trained and grew up 30 different ways. So
they are the true heroes. They are, and people don't realize it. And if it's one thing that I would change about this whole thing, I'm talking about, all over, but especially for the city of Memphis. I mean, these teachers are greatly underpaid, and not only that, I mean, they have lives too. They go through things too, and to have to go to work and deal with some of you people's unruly children, all day long, and deal with some of the crap that they have to deal and still try to get that message across, to try to, want them to learn and be somebody and be someone out of life. So to me, they got one of the hardest jobs on the planet. And I always say kudos to the teachers out there. That's something I always say.
And I think it's unfair to expect teachers to parent these children. It's so unfair because that's not what they're there for.
No, they can't do that.
That's what's expected, though.
Teachers.
But I do want to say this, and I hate to interject, but I want to say that I love teaching. Like on my worst days, I find joy because I love it. That's my passion. I like to see our children learn. Like, I love what I do, but it's like it's draining when you're literally parenting. Like, I don't think people understand that we also have to give them that support, that social, emotional part. I think that's a lot of what we're dealing with now, because now we're dealing with all of those COVID children, right? And you have to deal with all of those kids who were at home, and we're still trying to get them back in the process of being in school, right? Because it's nothing for kids. Like, we have kids. I have one who may come every 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and parents are okay with them being at home, right? But we still, I still find it bothersome that, like, parent your children. Like, I did not have the joy and the fun and the pleasure that you had getting them,
making them.
Hey,
that's what I'm talking about. So that was your pleasure. But I need you to parent your kids. And if we had true parents of these children, we wouldn't have the crime rate that we had. Think about it. If we had the parents parenting the way our parents, and they may not have been the best, but we're okay, we wouldn't have the crime rate that we have. Well, who's 12 and 13 carjacking is unbelievable to me.
8, 9, Nancy. 8 and 9.
Right. And but y'all don't realize, you can sit and look at some kids and look at their behaviors, and you be like, oh my God. And you can see the past if we don't reel them in. And you can just see it because they literally have no accountability. Like, they have, the social media is outrageous. And I had to tell a parent, she said, my child don't have no social media. I said, ma'am, yes, she does.
Like, yes, they do.
I said, would you like for me to screenshot it? Because the kids tell everything. So they, like, I got a couple of snitches in the trenches. And they don't call me Miss Gibson. They'll say, Miss Gibson, type this in your TikTok. And I had to screenshot it. So it's like, I need, parents. And these kids are really suffering. Anytime you got kids in elementary cutting, it's an issue. And you didn't know it as a parent, but I had to tell you this.
That's sad.
yeah,
That's sad.
And because we're not, cutting, I don't think y'all hear me, like slicing literally all down her arm. And you in elementary.
Well, if don't nobody else appreciate you, your Treadwell Eagle family appreciate you.
I know
You down there. One thing about it, it's been years, and we appreciate you. You know that. We got your back.
I appreciate y'all having this conversation, because we do, like, if nothing else we can do as a Black community is really reach out and help people parent our kids, because our kids are getting lost. They're so engulfed in social media and the reality of that they don't know that there's real life.
Right.
And the parents are not helping. So I appreciate y'all for this topic. And I'm not going to hold y'all up, but I do, like, I'm passionate about, because people don't know the difference between being a parent and parenting.
Well,
this was a really good topic.
We definitely appreciate you calling in and continue to be a long time listener.
That's definitely. Oh yeah. Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
That was a good call there. I like these calls from a teacher. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I was trying to say it when you was giving your spiel, Sharita. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would never whoop my child like my dad whooped me.
Oh, hell no.
I would never whoop my, but here's the thing. I don't regret either. No whooping that I got from my dad do I regret it. I think it made me a better person. It instilled some discipline in me, and it instilled the nature to want to do things the right way. What Joe
Character.
said,
It builds your
it
character.
builds character. Now, what Joe saying, because we all grew up on Meagle Street. Me, Joe, my cousin Lena. I mean, we all grew up on Meagle Street, and this is a true statement. And I ain't gonna say just anybody up and down the street was whooping anybody, but they had the green light. If they saw you doing something wrong, they had the green light to light you up. And it was a couple times that, you know, some parents had to get on us about doing some wrong stuff and say, hey, y'all keep it up. I'm gonna let Mr. Bill know. I'm gonna let Miss Merlene know. You know, so
Oh, yeah.
you don't have.
But I think we all went through that. We went through the same thing. It was open season. It was open season. That whole our whole Miller Road from the top all the way down to the bottom, man. Anybody could get you. So I get it. And for the most part, look at how we all turned out. That's what I'm saying. It's just the way things are now, man.
I gotta jump in though. Look at how we turned out though. Think about this and just hear me out. How many of us are suffering from anxiety? How many of us are suffering from depression? How many of us are suffering from, ADHD, adult onset ADHD, and just a plethora of things? How many of us were undiagnosed, with mental health issues, and we were getting beat because we had mental health issues that they didn't recognize because they didn't know, because that wasn't in their DNA. That wasn't something they were taught, to look for in their children, in us. So I'm in no way saying that a spanking should not occur. Not saying that at all. But I think the laying of hands did a lot of wrong in our community. Because if you look at what some of the younger and maybe the parents that are in their 20s and early 30s that don't really know how to parent the way, not even 20s and 30s, but y'all have heard or seen or heard of somebody in the store done beat their child back out because they was crying and asking for a piece of candy in the store. That ain't no reason to beat a child in their back.
That's different between abuse.
I know, but I'm saying that's what they learned because that's what they heard their mama, auntie, grandmama, great grandmama talk about, is whooping a child to put them in line. That they didn't get that this was abuse. A lot of us suffered from abuse. I suffered abuse. It was abuse the way some of us got whoopings.
Denise, I thought you was calling in. Are you calling me or are you calling into the show?
I'm calling into the show.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I gotta say something to Sharita right quick.
Go ahead.
I agree with what you're saying, and I'm not gonna dispute it, but I'm gonna say this. There is a difference between disciplining a child because they're doing something wrong, and then you just going overboard with your discipline over stuff that you maybe should be able to talk to them about. I'm not justifying either one or saying either one is wrong or right. I'm just saying you have to put everything into perspective. Now I look at, I don't get into who mental health things because I've had to deal with stuff like this. So I get it more so now. Back then we didn't know. Right. So I can't blame our parents for not knowing, because even as we grew up, it was things that we didn't know. So I don't knock the parent for that. But that's a good conversation for us to have too, to try to help, maybe these younger parents, be able to cope with stuff. Denise, how you doing? Number one Treadwell Alumni Committee member.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm piping in because I'm a Meagle Street brat as well. And I want to say this. Our parents communicated with each other. Whereas We know every parent on Meager had free reign to discipline us. The most important thing was our parents would stand in the middle of the street and have a conversation about their children. And if they saw a child that wasn't necessarily need a whooping, they would sternly talk to us. I mean, I have remembered times where Mr. Bill and Ike would just stand there on the curb with us and say, now, you know better. I'm not going to whoop you, but you know better. And the next conversation they had was with Virgil. They didn't just, when you say abuse a child, we didn't get abuse. We got that stern, disciplined love that came from raising kids. We all had different dynamics happen in our household. My mother was essentially a single parent, but the love that was shown between the Glasses, the Alexanders, the Rays, Mr. Early, Ike, Mr. Theus, the Carnes family, Ray Orr's family, and even the Dotson family was a dynamic that the realm now does not have. You don't have people that are neighbors anymore. We've gotten away from that. You wave to your neighbors now, you go in your house, you lock the door. We had a neighborhood, which is very, very important. And the saying that goes, it took a village to raise a child, we had that village. We had elders and younger older brother and sisters that took the effort to say, hey, I'm going to tell your mom on you, or I'm going to tell your dad on you. It wasn't like we were getting knocked down, drug out, up and down the street. No, that didn't happen with us. And some mental health issues that may have been present during our time coming up were already addressed because we as the children knew, okay, well, he kind of slow. Just, help him along. So we never labeled a child as having what they do now, ADHD or mental retardation, or they had Down syndrome. We were never allowed to do that because we were all individual children with individual circumstances, and we just came together on a melting pot and meshed and made ourselves be a village. And we had a village. Now, I understand you saying that, we may have been abused, but the abuse came, I want to say, out of love, because we never had to experience a child being abused in the way the children may be abused now. And I understand you saying that, Lee, but you have to remember our dynamic was different. And it's just not reoccurring now. I have daughters of my own that I raised similarly to the way in which I was raised. And I think they've turned out okay. But I just don't think that we should throw the term abused around with children that were raised right. I don't see that. Now, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But in some respects, I appreciate the village I was raised in. I'm chiming out. That was my chime in. I'm going to mute myself. And I'm going
You know what? You're the very first person that adhered to the 2 minute. I see. That's what I'm saying. That's what you're gonna stay on the committee. And you cook us breakfast too every year. You know you on the committee.
Oh, thanks for calling in, Denise. You made a very valid and good point. I wouldn't change my childhood, even though we had chickens and goats and stuff in the yard, and I was embarrassed about that. I would never change anything about it because I think it just built me to be the person that I am today. And as I look up and down the street, and I look at all the people that was up and down the street that grew up with me, I think we all did pretty good. I think we're all, for the most part, everybody pretty healthy. We got some people, got a few, things going on, but for the most part, I think we all did good for ourselves, and I think we all, trying. We're still working on doing the best we can with these kids, though. But I appreciate the call, Denise, and make sure you keep tuning in.
I will do. Will do.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
But one thing I do want to interject is that back with what she was sitting up there saying, I think we need to do a follow-up on what she was saying, because it is some truth to some of the stuff that she's talking about that we probably need to break off to the side and talk about, because it is some abuse versus what you think is love type things, you know. And like you said, I get what you're saying, that you can't blame them for not knowing, but that still doesn't make it right. So I think it's something that we could talk about in the future, and I think we can get some good stuff out of it, because I know a few situations. Go ahead.
You know somebody that can come on, a professional that can come on and talk to us about this, because I don't want us trying to give out no professional.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna try. No. If we could.
I know a couple of people that are professionals. I can see if they are available.
Yeah, let's do that, because I don't want us.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare do it. That's why. But if Sharita said it and it happened to her, you know, who is to anybody else to say, okay, what it meant or what it should be when she had to deal with it? So I don't.
And let me be clear. My mama ain't with me not now day of my life. It wasn't my mama. Okay, so don't nobody be talking about my mama. And it wasn't my stepdaddy either. It was a family member. It was not my mama or my daddy.
I wish somebody would talk about your mom.
My mama, my mama, I promise, maybe once, but she never, ever disciplined me. Never whooped me. Never.
And hey, Kimberly Speed joining us from Facebook. She has an interesting statement too. If you see hers at 7.
I'm finna get to it. I want to get to this one right quick here, because because you know, Terry, you know, I was an honor student. I made A's all the time. This just, I mean, he getting disciplined when he making B's on the progress report.
Man, but that's when you get nominated, man, for Parents of the Year. I mean, I love stuff like that. I mean, you hold people to excellence. Them kids gonna look back 10 years, 15 years from now, if they already don't, and gonna say thank you every day for the lifestyle that I'm able to lead and what I'm able to do, and what the kids gonna.
Hold on, we got a call.
Call from
Tom Holmes.
I'm gonna set the timer.
Mr. Holmes.
Hello there.
How you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a minute and 50 seconds left, so here we go. On a serious note, the way I wrote it down here was the ends are further apart, and what I mean by that, we're talking about being in a neighborhood where, when I was growing up, everybody was the same, and I'm not talking about skin color. I grew up on Hollywood at Jackson, so it wasn't skin color, but everybody. You didn't have people that you were worried about. Are they going to kill my kid if I let them come over to their house? You know, you didn't have people. It was a total. When you talk about the neighborhood or the village raises the kid, that's the way it used to be. And then it became, you don't know your neighbor. I can still, at the age of 71, tell you the people that lived around me when I lived on Hollywood. And I'm not talking about one of them that even had kids. They were grown-ups, and I remember their names. People, I can tell you right off the top of my head, 6 of them, I'm going to bet you that kids today couldn't tell you if they even have 6 neighbors, because they don't stay at home long enough.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know my neighbors either. I know the neighbor to the left and the right of me, and
I don't even know that they see my.
Get to know them, folks. They might someday be very handy. You know, you can even.
It's just so hard to trust, Mr. Holmes. It's just so hard to trust these days. The only time they see me is once that car when that garage open, that car goes in, that garage goes back down before I even get out the truck. So I never see mine either. And I guess I come from the neighborhood is that you used to always put your trust in people early and give them a reason to break that trust. I think you got to earn my trust now. I just can't give it out because these people are so crazy these days.
But that's not the way it used to be. And everybody, or not everybody, a lot of people talk about, you don't want to go back to the old days. There's a lot about the old days, like honor. A person's word was his bond. A handshake was a whole lot better than a fist fight. There are things that was taught to people like me, and some of them were whippings. You betcha I got whippings. You know, that's I don't know of anybody that didn't. But I also don't know of anybody that had marks on their back or legs or what. You see what I mean? But today it's not the same because people don't even hang around each other anymore, as y'all just said. I don't know my neighbors. Well, you know, and one more thing, this is what I actually was calling about. That's when you were starting the show about the 4 or 5 year old that they were starting to do this and that. What were they doing the first 5 years of that kid's life? A parent's job in the book of Second Opinions is simply when you have a child, you rear that child to become an adult as best as that child can. Talking about mental or physical problems, that kind of stuff. But if they don't have that, then the best thing, that's your job. Why would somebody wait until their kid is 4 or 5 to start teaching them right from wrong? And I got news for you. Think back. What was the first thing that your kid learned to do? Was the same thing you learned to do, and that's steal and lie about it. We knew how to do that before we knew how to have somebody be a lookout. But we knew enough to steal. You know, if we're going to get a cookie, you know, at least tell them somebody else did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's hard.
The thing in Washington, the thing in the state of Washington, where they're trying to get the parents and the teachers at each other's throats. Have any of the three of y'all heard about that?
No.
Okay. There's a bill in the state of Washington they're trying to get passed that, and this is just some of the things that's on it. If a child gets hurt at school, a teacher or principal has up to 2 days before they have to tell the parent. One more thing. They don't have to inform the parent at all about sex changes or if they're going to have an abortion. And the guy that wrote the law, this is honest to God truth, and look it up. The guy that wrote the law said when he was hit back about abortion, he said if they're old enough to get pregnant, they're old enough to have an abortion. What planet did that clown walk in from?
Well,
I know of 10 years. I used to be in the youth business. I know 10-year-old kids or a 10-year-old child that became pregnant. Let me assure you, it was through no want of the child. And you're going to tell me that that same child who didn't want to be in the shape she's in now gets the great judgment call to say, okay, here's what I want to do with the rest of my life. I don't know, what's an abortion again? Okay, let's have one of them. People are, and nobody does anything about it. And I know I'm over my 2 minutes, and I apologize.
It's a whole nother discussion. We're gonna have to do that one another day.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring. And I'm gonna look
into it.
I'm gonna look at that book because I just, you know, is A lot of stuff can fly under the radar and we miss it sometimes, but I'm gonna check into that.
And some things can be so outrageous they're not true. But I did look this up, and it is true, and that's the real shame of it.
Right.
That you know. But anyway, look it up, and you know I'll get back to you guys at another time. And I'm glad you all are feeling better.
All right, we appreciate.
Thank you, man.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Well, that's another good call. Abuse is out of anger from the parent. Discipline is when they explain to you the reason why you were disciplined. Is that what you was looking for, Tier?
Yes.
Well, that's exactly what that was kind of scenario when I got paddling in the 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
He explained to me why he did it. He didn't want to do it. He told me he didn't want to do it, but according to the rules, he couldn't make an exception for me, and I never held that against him.
And see, my dad did a great job at explaining to me why he was whooping us. My dad was one of them type of people that my dad he didn't graduate high school, and he was one of those people that he had this special belt around his waist. It was just for whippings. It was just in a certain spot, certain location. When it was time to get the whipping, you know where the belt was. And when he whips you, he'll hit you one time, tell you something, hit you again. He'll tell you the story as he's whipping you. Instead of just getting it over with, he telling you why he's doing it. So it made it that much more just unbearable. You know, we'd rather just go and give you the quick 10 lashes and get it over with.
Mm-mm.
But no, he give you 10 strong lashes at 30 seconds apart with some talking involved.
That's abuse.
No, but hey, look how I turned out. I don't bother nobody. I turned out well.
Yeah, my dad didn't play that. It was wop 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 wop. And then it was a rap. And then but Terry, you can ask Rod. The only thing I ever got a whooping for was me and my brother fighting. I never got a whooping for none from school. Maybe a couple times house wasn't clean when Daddy got home from work or something. But other than that, that's the only thing I really got a whooping for. So, and I knew it was wrong, but hey, siblings and hey.
Well, I'll put it like this. I got plenty of whoopings, but I never did. Let's put it like this. I never did the same thing twice. When I got a whooping for it, I never did it again. So I ain't gonna say that I never got. I got a whooping once for everything that I did, but I never did go back and do that again. So it was always for something new and something different or something stupid I did.
I think that's why I never got too many whoopings, because I was too scared to do anything that I knew was gonna get me a whooping. I wasn't doing it. I wasn't going.
Yeah, but you had us, man, that thought we could outsmart the parents, man. Some stuff we tried to get away with. Hell, I thought I was smarter. Hey, I just thought I was smarter than.
Well, maybe that's why I graduated salutatorian and you graduated where you did.
Exactly. Yeah, I resemble that remark. Yes, sir. But
I hope that answered Xavier's question too, as far as the what's the difference between discipline and abuse. I hope that answered your question. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, hey, Joe grandmama, man, Joe grandmama, she ain't never whooped me or nothing, but I was scared of that lady. That lady was, woof, she was as nice as she wanted to be, but if you ain't supposed to be in their yard. We used to go, Joe lived right across the street from me, so we used to go over there and they had some little barrels. We used to get on the barrels and play on them, walking on them and stuff. But if you weren't supposed to be over there, boy, she come out that door.
Tell the truth. Did he have shoes growing up? Just be honest, man. I mean, no, don't lie for it. Don't lie for it.
Yeah, sure. What you mean? You ain't had shoes growing up.
I'm just asking, man. Since we going down memory lane, I just want to know.
You wrong for that.
I had shoes, but I was the one that never wore shoes. I was when I was 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, probably up until the 6th grade, man, I walked around with no shoes on. Hot concrete, didn't matter. I was walking around with no shoes on. I look back at it now and say, I don't know what the hell was going on with me, but I ain't like shoes.
You was like me, you wanted to be one with the
they say it's good. Yeah, they say it's good. Yeah. Maybe I need to go back to that.
No, not these days. It's too much going on.
I need to let my feet touch the earth more.
No, man. I think that's my problem. No, sir. I think I go to bed with socks on now. I just can't touch the floor, man.
See, Xavier trying to be funny now. He talking about the chickens and goats. We had a blind duck too, Tier.
I heard about that.
Yeah, we had a blind duck.
Oh, you know, we talked about it. We talked. Look, man. Look, I was up there. I was in school with your brother, so I went over there with you. So we used to get him here. So the stories you try to tell me to do that shit.
See.
We used to tell your brother ass up on it. That shit just passed down to you. Hey, we talking about that shit 3-4 years ahead of time.
I ain't never get it though, Terry. I ain't never get it because I used to be
only because you played basketball. They loved you. They didn't you a lie. That's the only reason.
Look, when you know you ain't got the right ammunition, shut the F up.
Wait, that's something your brother didn't do though.
I know it. I was a little smarter than that. I wasn't I knew where they was going. Bang. I wasn't going.
Your brother wasn't. He wasn't very smart. He wasn't very smart.
With everybody. It's hard to talk about you when they like you, Tier.
Yeah, they used to tear his ass up. Well, no, I said they. We used to tear his ass up. You know, that was his name. Chicken Man. That was his nickname.
I know it.
Chicken Man. And he got to the point he gravitated. He loved it. Shit, he didn't give a damn. After a period of time, he didn't give a damn no more. Well, it didn't seem like he gave a damn.
Well, I don't know. I know it was embarrassing for me, especially when we used to ride home on the bus, because I know they wasn't directing it to me, but everybody on the bus knew that was my brother. So you know, yeah, I mean, some of it was hilarious though. Some of it was hilarious. So I can't even, you know. Oh, well, I'm glad you did the opposite.
Well, like I said, and see, that's another one that goes to what Sharita was saying. So there are stories out there that everything wasn't pleasant growing up for everyone that you would see, you know, normally that it is. So it is some stories out there.
So, and that's, you know, we try to be understanding about that. Everybody had, you know, everybody was different. Even though we might think everybody was going through the same thing, some people probably was going through, you know, stuff. But yeah. I'm glad that she's able to, you know, even put this out here that, hey, it didn't make me, because sometimes they say it's just a cycle.
Well, see, that shows the healing though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It shows that you've healed and you okay to put a story out there that can help somebody else. Like I said, that's one thing about this show. You know, we're gonna just real talk. We're gonna tell the truth. You know, and hope it. You know, at the end of the day, we want to hope that it helps someone. Hell, sometimes it even helps us because we all have different points of views about certain things, and a lot of times you don't know something until you hear somebody else's point of view. So,
and it may not be that she's necessarily healed, but that she just chose to do different with her children. Because you can choose to do like with me, I chose to do different, but I ain't healed. You know, I'm all right, but I'm not healed because if you don't address it and talk about it, and you know, blah,
well,
blah,
I put it like this: she's healed enough to talk about it. I put it like that.
Yeah. I was just putting that out there.
Because if it was me, I know how it is. If I'm going through something bad, I don't want to talk about it. I don't, you know, until I had to realize, hey, the only way you gonna get through this stuff, you got to talk through this stuff. You got, you know, you got to get it out.
Tier, answer that question right there.
Who's Chicken Man?
That is Daryl's oldest brother. Do you know who Daryl's oldest brother is?
That's his dad. Yeah,
I know. I know. That's why I put the emphasis on it. That's your pops, Chicken Man. So that, you know what? When I start seeing you, I'm gonna start calling you Little Chicken Man. when I see you coming in the chat, Little Chicken Man. I bet you stop popping up for a while then, won't
Hey
you?
man, look, no, they enjoyed that. They enjoyed going over dad's house, their granddad's house, playing with the chickens and messing with the goats and all of that, and being in the garden. They enjoyed that stuff, man. It was terrible for me though. It was awful. Hey, Benita, you see what you late? I gave y'all a shout out at the beginning of the show. I'll run it back across here right now, so you can know that I was looking out for you, Big Mike, Courtney, Chris Trejo, that's one of my employees, and Shirley Murphy, all the way in where's she at?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. Y'all did that thing. Y'all did that thing. Like Terry said, you know, all this stuff that we do is, you know, it's for fun, but it's also a learning experience. You know, we want to learn. We want you to watch the show. We want your input. You know, especially if you got a good teaching moment, we definitely want you to call in, comment. We also want you to listen and to learn. So if everybody get at least one thing out of the show, we did our job.
Yep. And shout out to Joe, because I think this is the very first time that we took a person's topic that they asked us to talk about, and we actually, you know, put it to work, and we actually did it, and it turned out to be a pretty good show. Pretty good topic. Real good topic.
So once again, if y'all got topics y'all want to talk about, you know, next week we're coming back with Matters of the Heart. I don't know what the subject is gonna be.
Maybe y'all can help us.
Yeah, y'all help us come up with a subject, and we'll definitely
don't forget the next time you see Real Talk, check out my new segment.
I was ready to run it today.
Hey, we got a new segment. We got a new segment coming out called You Big Dummy.
And
so you had several you could have did today.
I didn't prepare. I didn't
hit them with the like, subscribe, and all of that, Terry.
Oh yeah. If you do anything, for all the new members, all the current members, we ask that you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You got to click on the bell, and you got to click on all. When you click on that bell, click on all. That way you get all notifications whenever we go live, or I think up to an hour before we actually go live. Tell a friend, tell five. Everybody can tell 5 friends to go out there and subscribe and like our channel. Let us know you appreciate you. We don't ask for much. If you can just share, just tell somebody. And if you haven't joined and subscribed yet, look at the QR code to my lower right. And just scan it with your phone. It'll take you straight to the page, and you can subscribe right there. You can subscribe right there. So if you can do that, you know, we're gonna continue, you know, doing stuff that we love to do and able to bring it to you. And we don't ask for much, but we do need to build our fan base up. We need to build our subscribers up and all that. So it would help if everybody can put a goal in their mind and just go get 5 people and just invite them. Just say watch them. Once they watch us, we got them after that. We just want you to introduce them to us, tell them subscribe and watch. And we greatly appreciate that.
And one thing I don't know if this new time they viewed. I know 2 people said it was their first time watching the show. I know we had at least 3 new people that commented. So I don't know if they've been watching and this their first time or not, but we really appreciate y'all tuning in. It just shows us that we growing. Look, Tammy is a Treadwell alumni.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think
Tammy. Hey, Tammy.
First time I saw her chime in, so maybe this is her first time too. So
yeah,
you know, it's we love doing it. We want to continue doing it. Like I said, if y'all got some topics y'all want to talk about, or we might come on. I had some more stuff I wanted to talk about today, but we got so into what we were talking about and had such 3 great call-ins. We'd be running out of time because we had an hour and a half already. It don't even seem like it. We thought we was gonna cut the show early, but we once you get going, you just keep going. So we appreciate everybody. Like Terry said, share it, get 5 people to like it, get 5 people to tune in, and just keep tuning in to us. That's all I can say.
See it.
Hey man, you ain't got my promo already keyed up, man.
No, it's on the other link. No, it's on the other link. It's on the other link. And then I didn't put the copyright disclaimer on there, so I don't want us to get paid for this. So, but I got it printed up for next time, so when I do it, it'll automatically already be on there, because I definitely don't want us to get dinged for copyright infringement. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but this is a portion of the show on Real Talk that is going to be my dummy of the day. And y'all know there's some crazy stuff that's going on around the world every day. And we're going to find some of those dummies and make them for dummy of the day. Now, what I am going to do is, it's a lot of local dummies here in Memphis, Tennessee, but when I find those, I'm going to let Sharita host those, because I do not need those Negroes coming after me.
Riri ain't scared.
Hey, I don't need these Negroes coming after me for putting them on blast.
Riri,
I don't need to be viral on that. I'll let Sharita go viral on the local stuff. Now, if you hundreds and hundreds of miles away, on your ass I go. But if you're local, I'm gonna leave that up to Show Enough Sharita Presents. So,
well, y'all send us some. We'll post them.
Oh yeah, y'all send me some dummies to the day. What the email address at? Y'all send them to. Y'all can inbox one of us, or you can email the In the Clutch podcast at gmail.com. You can also let us know what you've been thinking of all the shows, or any kind of suggestions you may have about future shows, or what you didn't like, or some things you may want to see in the future. You can just email us at that email address below.
Stephanie Burrell, Tammy Griffins. Who else I'm forgetting? I just want to thank y'all again for tuning in and commenting. Latanya, but she be on here every week though. But we'll still.
Latanya be every week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time she done missed.
Oh, okay.
Ebony Pleasant. Trying to make sure I want to try to get here about.
Look, Sandra. Hey, Sandra. I'm sorry. Sandra at the bottom, just at the last comment. Sandra Christian Swearing.
Oh, okay. Hey, we done ran into each other like 3 times.
What's up, Sandra? Look,
joining us from the Facebook world.
That's that Cypress connection right there. Me and her went to Cypress together. We was all in the smart class together.
Okay, well, Miss Sandra, if you say y'all smart, have you?
I'm so glad he froze.
Dang it. That's what he get.
That's what he get. Finna say
that's what he finna say something crazy.
He still froze.
Stay froze. We out of here anyway.
Right.
Hey, we appreciate everybody calling in.
Thank y'all.
It can't end no better than this. We out.